Hey guys, it's me again, Captain Corey, here to teach you some 6th grade science. Last time we were together, we talked about the atmosphere. This week, we will be learning about severe weather. Since today is Engage and Explore, we will be filling out our Notice and Wonder sheet. To access the science journal, you will need to do the following. All right, the first thing you need to do is go to the RVA Schools website, right? Once you get to this website, you'll scroll down and you'll click RPS at home. Once you get to this page, you'll click middle school and then you'll click 6th grade. Then you'll scroll down to the current week, which will be this week, but for demonstration purposes, we'll click here. And it'll take you to this page. You'll scroll down to science, and then you'll click where it says science journal. When you click on it, you'll get to a page that looks like this. Once you're on this page, you click make a copy, and then it'll take you to this page right here. In this page, it has everything that we're going to be doing for this week. Here's our Notice and Wonder sheet. Here's our brain pop activity, our tornado in a bottle, and our notes, and everything else that we'll have for the week, which I will explain throughout this video and the next video. All right, but the first things first, we're going to watch a video and know that on this video, you're going to fill out your Notice and Wonder sheet. You're going to write down 3 things that you see, 3 things that you think, and 3 things that you wonder.
Hurricane Michael was a powerful storm that struck the Florida Panhandle in October of 2018. It slowly formed from a tropical disturbance, a cluster of thunderstorms that held together for several days in the western Caribbean Sea. On October 6th, the disturbance became a potential tropical cyclone, meaning it was just on the edge of becoming a tropical depression or tropical storm. The next day, it showed enough circulation to become Tropical Depression number 14, and by the end of the day, it was a medium-strength tropical storm, halfway between the Yucatan Peninsula and the western tip of Cuba. 12 hours later, Tropical Storm Michael became Hurricane Michael on October 8th. By the end of the next day, winds in Hurricane Michael had increased to 125 miles an hour, making it a Category 3 storm, moving northward in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. Hurricane Michael made landfall in the Florida Panhandle on Wednesday, October 10th, with wind of 160 miles per hour. That was a Category 5 storm. For wind speed, it was the strongest storm to hit the United States in over 25 years. It was also the strongest hurricane to hit that part of Florida on record. The view from the International Space Station showed a distinct large eye, a sign of a powerful system. NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, had hurricane hunters in the storm just before landfall, and so too were the United States Air Force Reserve hurricane hunters. You can actually see the beaches and the extreme surf in the middle of the eye of the storm. Water levels were raised by the intense wind to create storm surge. The highest water levels on land were between 9 and 14 feet above the ground. Peak winds along the path of the track were well over 100 miles per hour, with reports of over 120 miles per hour near the landfall location, and one report of 139 miles per hour at Tyndall Air Force Base before the weather instrument failed. Data from many weather stations was lost, so the actual numbers may never be known. Category 3 hurricane force wind gusts were felt in southwest Georgia for the first time since the 1890s. Tropical storm force winds spread from northern Georgia and eastern Alabama all the way northward through the Carolinas to New Jersey. More than a dozen tornadoes were confirmed from Florida to Virginia that were spawned by Michael. Given the steady motion of Hurricane Michael, rain was not extreme. It was mostly less than 6 inches until it moved into the Appalachians as a weakening tropical storm, leaving up to a foot of rain there. Hurricane Michael formed slowly, but then increased wind speed very fast before landfall. One of the reasons was the water in the eastern Gulf of Mexico was warmer than average by 2 to 4 degrees. The other reason was the steering winds allowed it to lose pressure on the way to the coast. That was unusual for an October storm in the Gulf of Mexico.
Alrighty, so that was our first video. Now we're going to go to our next video. Make sure that you're filling out the Notice and Wonder sheet.
Sydney's iconic harbour awash with a downpour. Sydney alone was expected to receive as much as 130 millimetres of rain in the 24 hours to Saturday morning, the biggest one-day rainfall in almost 2 decades. Much of Australia's bushfire-ravaged east coast was drenched on Friday, dousing some of the most dangerous blazes and providing welcome relief to farmers battling prolonged drought. But the downpour came with its own risks, as New South Wales Rural Fire Service Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons explains.
The good news is there's a forecast for the rain to continue and particularly spread across southeastern New South Wales where our fires continue to burn and present challenges for firefighters and all those being impacted by the fires. Of course, we're very mindful of the potential for flooding. Some of the huge deluges that are already occurring across New South Wales. Whilst we don't want to see that, we're certainly pleased as firefighters, as rural and farming communities across New South Wales, and all those affected by these fires to see this welcome widespread rainfall.
The heavy rainfall across New South Wales and Victoria was a welcome surprise after the Bureau of Meteorology's 3-month forecast issued in January forecast continued high temperatures and little rainfall. Firefighters are optimistic the continued rainfall over the coming days will help firefighters in New South Wales get the 17 blazes that are still categorised as uncontained finally under control.
All right, so that was our second video on severe weather. So now what we are going to do is we are going to watch a brain pop video. After this video, we're going to fill out this chart. We're going to put each disaster that happened and the damage that it causes. So have that in your mind while we're going through this video.
Hey, you ready? The sky is totally clear. Look outside. All right, but you were the one who was all into the idea of getting buried in the sand. Dear Tim and Moby, what are natural disasters and how do they happen? From Maritza. Oh, that's a good question. Moby's claiming that a hurricane will ruin our beach day, but... All right. Natural disasters happen for different reasons. Some are weather-related, like hurricanes. These tropical storms form over the ocean, picking up speed and strength as they move over the water. If a hurricane hits land, its high winds and heavy rain can cause a lot of damage. Thunderstorms are a lot more common than hurricanes. The thunder can't hurt you, but lightning is a powerful form of electrical energy that you want to stay away from. I think we're pretty safe from lightning in the house. Tornadoes are the most violent storms that nature sends our way. With rotating funnel-shaped clouds and winds reaching 300 miles per hour, tornadoes can do a lot of damage to large areas. Winter storms bring snow, freezing rain, sleet, and temperatures that make you want to run indoors. They can cause icy conditions on roads, fallen power lines, and extreme cold. Right, floods happen when land is covered in more water than it can absorb. Lots of things can bring about floods, including heavy rain, overflowing rivers, and even melting snow. A flood can mean a few inches of water in the basement or an entire house washed over. It's sort of the opposite of a drought when there's not enough water. Droughts are slower to develop, but the lack of water can devastate entire ecosystems. It is scary to think about. Sometimes these disasters can be predicted, giving people enough time to relocate. But there are also times when these things catch us off guard or are more powerful than people expect. Earthquakes are especially unpredictable. They happen along plate boundaries in the Earth's crust. When plates shift, the Earth shakes. Well, earthquakes vary in intensity, so you can't always feel them. Depending on how strong an earthquake is, it can cause a lot of damage or very little. When an earthquake occurs underwater, it can trigger a tsunami. These massive waves can travel as fast as 500 miles an hour. When they hit land, they can bring a lot of destruction. Some tsunamis are caused by underwater volcanoes, eruptions of hot molten rock from deep inside the earth. Volcanoes are linked to plate activity too. When they erupt on land, their ash plumes and lava flows can do a lot of damage. Yeah, they can start wildfires, but those are more often caused by people or lightning. Wildfires happen a lot in dry areas. They move fast and are difficult to put out, especially if it's windy. Huh. I get what you're saying. These are natural disasters, and it may seem a little like the Earth is trying to kill us, but this is just the way the planet operates. Our planet has a lot of water on it, and it's constantly in motion, and that means droughts in one area and storms in another. Likewise, the Earth is very active geologically, and pressure from moving tectonic plates has to be released somewhere. Of course, none of that makes natural disasters any less scary. But we are getting better all the time at predicting these events. And governments and humanitarian agencies do a lot to help out whenever disaster strikes. At home, the best thing you can do is to make a family plan so that everyone in your family knows how to reach one another and where to go in case of an emergency. And make sure you have a ready kit of basic supplies you'll need in an emergency. Okay, right now I really want to go to the beach. Well, you can't always believe what the weather reports. But I guess it's always good to listen.
All right, so that was our brain pop. And we're going to go back to our science observation notebook. Make sure that you document the disasters in this category and then just tell what kind of damage that they do. It's a cause and effect chart. Also for today, we have an activity called Tornado in a Bottle. All right, so the materials that you will need are 2 plastic 1-liter bottles, some water, duct tape, and a pitcher. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one bottle and fill it up 3/4, just like this pitcher with water. Take the other bottle and invert it. Take the other bottle and invert it upside down so that the tops are directly on top of one another, looking just like this. Then duct tape the mouths together of both bottles and then flip it upside down and rotate it in a clockwise position, in a clockwise motion. All right, once you do that, then you'll be able to see your tornado in a bottle. All right, guys, well, that's all for today. Until next time, it's been Science with Captain Corey.